Once I was building houses for the orphans in Africa, as I am wont to do, when I was suddenly kidnapped, locked into a cell and forced to watch all those awful straight-to-video American Pie spin-offs. Because that's the only way I would ever watch those movies, of course. Hey, Bandcamp ain't bad. And whilst experiencing American Pie Presents The Naked Mile, I was encountered by this unforgettable movie moment.
Some girls like blondes, some like muscles. I like virgins.
I would just laugh it off if it wasn't so endemic.
Wow.
You have your wife for the rest of your life. Tonight, you can have me.
Hollywood is really selling the message that Alexandra Daddario's feel attracted to socially awkward Owen Wilsons.
If you thought that I was kind of coming on to you, it's probably because I kind of was.
Hey, what you trying to...
Take the films of Judd Apatow and his alumni.
Judd Apatow has completely ruined manhood.
True.
Absolutely true. Judd Apatow's films, as funny as they may be, are about dumb, immature losers without any ambition, talent, or redeeming qualities besides the ultimate loser feature, being nice.
You lose weight, and then you put back on weight, and then you call them a bunch of times, and you try and email, and then they move or they change their email. But that's just love.
They never learn anything, they never improve, and somehow they always end up with a beautiful woman.
In an Apatow world, you could be my girl.
I miss old college humor. Anyway, you'd expect the 40-year-old virgin to be the story of a weakling evolving into a real man. But no, he just gets pushed around the whole film through until his problem is magically solved and he marries the love of his life.
You gave her the look, right? Head down, eyes looking up, hands in pockets, shoulders up, head slightly tilted, conveying shy vulnerability.
I love that look. I think I slept with you because of that look.
I would just love to sleep with someone out of pity. Said no woman ever.
Please sleep with me. Please. Pretty please. I'm so lonely. I haven't slept with anyone in a very long time, and you are so good looking. Please do me the favor of having sex with me.
Okay, stay 3 steps behind and promise you won't tell anybody.
Yes, I am well aware that these are all comedies.
My name is George. I'm unemployed and I live with my parents.
I'm Victoria. Hi.
But there is no way watching scene after scene of this insane wishful thinking doesn't have a detrimental effect on boys' perception of relationships.
I was just at the bank, and there was this really hot teller, and she didn't ask me to go do it with her in the vault.
And what are the women even gaining from these quote-unquote men? Are they just angels dropped from heaven to bump uglies with losers? What are those insecure wimps offering?
Wait a minute. Wait, that's it! I know now what I can offer you that no one else can! Complete and utter dependence!
Homer, that's not a good thing.
You are wrong, John Lennon. Love is not all you need. I mean, you could have done with at least a bulletproof vest. What, too soon? Girls are being taught they should settle with a low-level male just because he loves her.
I have loved you, Beth Cooper, ever since I first sat behind you in Ms. Rosa's math class in the 7th grade.
In Can't Hardly Wait, the prom queen falls in love with a random guy she never met because of a love letter he wrote her. And the screenwriters didn't even bother to write what was in that letter. What could it even say?
Dear Trixie, we have your parents. If you ever want to see them again...
You're writing a threatening love note. That's how I met your mom. If you ever want to see your parents again.
Take the Judd Apatow produced The 5-Year Engagement, where loser-playing specialist Jason Segel dates Emily Goddamn Blunt after she met him dressed like this.
Oh, God.
He has a great job, but gets talked into leaving it and moving to another town where he can sulk around in how much of a loser he is.
Are you gonna get dressed today?
I think today's more of a bunny day.
He does everything she asks without ever telling her what he wants.
They might be extending my postdoc.
Sounds like we're staying.
And the movie seems to think this is a typical relationship because the selfish leader and the malleable tool
Maybe it's okay for me to be selfish.
live happily ever after, and they have Seagull's character say,
I'm a man.
I beg to differ, you testosterone-drained baboon. A man is emotionally mature, motivated, and confident.
Must you flirt?
Well, I don't have to, but I find it natural.
In the good old days, movies taught us that.
Would you call your approach toward me typical of the local morale?
Mademoiselle, it is that approach which has made Paris what it is.
You're very sure of yourself, aren't you?
Well, nothing's happened recently to shake my self-confidence.
But as movies detoured more and more to be aimed at teenagers instead of adults, sensible messages were abandoned and screenwriters moved into fantasy territory. Take the Grant we had in the Golden Age. Cary Grant. He did play his share of comical losers, but those were the exception.
Now, my future wife has always regarded me as a man of some dignity.
His screen persona was that of a sophisticated, assured ladies' man, man's man, and man about town.
I've got a job, a secretary, a mother, 2 ex-wives, and several bartenders dependent upon me.
It made sense when he got the leading lady, because they were a match.
You're afraid you'll fall in love with me?
That wouldn't be hard.
They were both witty, driven, and charming.
Well, Nora. See you sometime.
Now take the Grant we had recently, Hugh Grant, a bumbling imbecile.
Hi, how are you?
His screen persona is insecure, aimless, and annoying.
So, John, how's that gorgeous girlfriend of yours?
She's no longer my girlfriend.
Ah, dear. Still, I wouldn't get too gloomy about it. Rumour has it she never stopped bonking old Toby Delisle just in case you didn't work out.
She is now my wife.
But good enough to seduce the most popular actress in the world, it seems. Women just find this awkward, prattling milksop irresistible. Not at all. To be fair, he is an excellent and charismatic actor, but typecasting is a bitch. Though I don't think it keeps him up at night. Look at how things used to be when movies made sense. There's this terrible 1960 film starring Mexican comedian Cantinflas called Pepe.
Pepe, that's me!
He is an infantile idiot who goes to Hollywood to recover his horse that was bought by a big-name director called Holt.
I've never been happier.
Pepe falls in love with Shirley Jones, because who wouldn't? And everybody in the film knows there is just no way on this earth that Shirley goddamn Jones would ever want this between her legs.
Who has a face as funny as Pepe?
And they try to tell him as you would tell a child there is no Santa Claus.
But it takes a very special kind of love to make a marriage. That is the kind I have for Susie. I see. Well, I don't think that Susie has that kind of love for you. You don't? No, Pepe.
There are many different ways of love, you see.
Yes.
There is the love of a friend for a friend.
For a friend.
There's love between a man and a woman, love between a mother and a son.
2 women. Let's not forget my favorite.
Of course, Shirley Jones falls for the director and Pepe is contented to just have his horse back.
The story have a happy ending. Mr. Robinson get picture. Susie get Mr. Hall. And I get my son.
Horrible picture, but with a pretty realistic ending. The actual man gets the woman, and the loser gets the horse. Horse. He gets the horse.
It's true. I f***ed a pony. You are a genius. How did you know?
Can't believe I found a way to use this clip. Besides schmucks nailing models, there is another terrible lesson current movies shove on you. A man should do absolutely everything in his power to keep a woman, no matter how much it hurts his career and his dignity. I believe this bad message began with the 1960 masterpiece The Apartment by the great Billy Wilder. Narrative-wise, dialogue-wise, visuals-wise, acting-wise, it is completely perfect.
Premium-wise and billing-wise, we are 18% ahead of last year, October-wise.
Its poster even gave me the idea for this channel's name, but manly-wise it is a joke. It's about a stupid pushover called C.C. Baxter who works for a big company. His superiors use his spacious Upper West Side apartment a random cog in a wheel could afford in 1960 to bang their mistresses and give him raises as thanks. Baxter has a crush on elevator operator Kubelik.
Maybe we could have lunch in the cafeteria sometime. Or some evening after work.
27.
You had your appendix out.
Don't mention the appendix to the fellas in the office, okay? I wouldn't want them to get the wrong idea about how you found out.
Friend zone. She doesn't want anyone to ponder the possibility that she would ever allow him to see her belly. Clark Gable would say, "You should be so lucky, doll," and make a move on another woman, and one should always do what Clark Gable would do. Moving on, Baxter finds out Kubelik is the mistress of his boss, Sheldrake. She tries to kill herself in Baxter's apartment and he nurses her back to health himself, because Sheldrake has a wife and kids to worry about. Look at what she says when Baxter mentions having a scar.
You want to see my knee? No, thank you. The fellas in the office might get the wrong idea how I found out.
Saving her life and still friend zone. Baxter takes all the blame for everything Kubelik did, so her brother-in-law punches him. She gives him less attention than she would to a puppy and he loves it.
Oh, you fool. Damn fool. Goodbye, Mr. Baxter.
Sheldrake wants to use the apartment again to bang Kubelik. Baxter finally mans up, tells him to shove that job, quits and moves out of the apartment. So this is the story of a doormat who learns how to act like a man, right? Nope. Kubelik hears about it and goes back to him. So this woman who was having an affair with a married bastard, this woman who tried to off herself in Baxter's home, was a burden to him for days, took zero responsibility for her actions and got him beaten up, now decides she wants him. Does he read his mandatory for all true men poster that states what would Clark Gable do and tell her he doesn't give a damn?
I love you, Miss Kubelik. Did you hear what I said, Miss Kubelik? I absolutely adore you.
Shut up and deal.
Shut up and deal. I know it's supposed to be cute, but he gets no affection from her in the entire runtime besides this condescending kiss. This film was a major hit money-wise, critics-wise and Oscar-wise, but it just might be the film whose influence has deteriorated the most Hollywood's representation of men and relationships. The following line is supposed to be heartbreaking.
Why can't I ever fall in love with somebody nice like you?
But it is obvious, because he is not a man. Remember Crazy Stupid Love? Julianne Moore admits she cheated on Steve Carell with Kevin Bacon. I mean David Lindhagen.
David Lindhagen cuckolded me. He made a cuckold out of me.
So Carell gets a complete makeover from uber awesome Ryan Gosling. You think Carell's character is gonna learn to be a real man, but no. He just rejects his new lifestyle.
When we were first married, you were the only woman that I had ever slept with. And now I have had sex with 9 different women. God!
9? 9?
Don't say it. Don't say it. I'll say it.
We were on a break!
Actually, it was more than a break. They had broken up and were getting a divorce. Because she cheated on him. Anyway, with one of those movie public gestures, Carell goes crawling back to his wife. And in the kindness of her cheating heart, she takes him back.
Oh, God.
Man... She cheated on you with David Lindhagen and you unlearned everything you spent the bulk of the movie learning. Have some self-respect and move on. Marissa Tomei is there. Oh, right, she's into guys like George Costanza.
How is it that a man like you, so bald and so quirky and funny, how is it you're not taken?
Here's another example from the hilarious underrated comedy Crash Pad. Loser Stansland falls for Christina Applegate after a weekend of humping, but she only did it to get back at her husband who cheated on her? Nope, he was just acting a little distant recently.
What was my next move supposed to be, Grady?
I told you that we were losing touch, that I needed more from you, and you ignored me.
So the cuckold, who is awesome, decides to live a bachelor life with Stensland and cheat back, which he doesn't. After many funny hijinks, the film up and decides he should go back to his wife and mother and apologize for being neglectful with their marriage.
I owe you an apology, and I get that now.
Grady, what do you get?
That I'm the one that screwed up our marriage. I neglected you.
Motherfuck. The bitch coldly chose the biggest loser she could find and spent an entire weekend f***ing him in her matrimonial bed. But the man has to apologize because he wasn't giving her enough attention. I was angry at the apartment for having the protagonist end up with a woman with a United Nations headquarters worth of red flags. Having a cuckold take the blame for his wife's infidelity and go crawling back is just too much. I wonder what men said to unfaithful wives in the classics.
I'm not taking another chance because I'm through, finished, and that's flat.
What's going to become of me?
I don't know. You'll have to stop getting younger someday.
You think you'll ever get me out of your blood?
Maybe not, but love has got to stop someplace short of suicide.
What is considered the best love story in movie history? Casablanca, about a man who realizes there are more important things in the world than the woman he loves, so he lets her go.
Hilda, I'm no good at being noble, but it doesn't take much to see that the problems of three little people don't amount to a hill of beans in this crazy world.
Am I crying? No, I'm not crying. You're crying.
What is considered the best line in movie history? In Gone with the Wind, when a man realizes he never received the love and affection he deserves from the woman he loved, so he leaves her in search of a better life.
Red, you go. Where shall I go? What shall I do?
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
The classics give the right lessons about relationships. They shouldn't require the sacrifice of anything important such as your principles or your self-respect.
You know what I've been waiting for? I've been waiting to hear you say that I'm all right with you the way I am. Maybe you're ready to say it now.
They require mutual responsibility.
And this is the man that I've loved for 20 years.
This is the man who's loved you.
The man isn't the one supposed to do all the heavy lifting.
What's the trouble?
I know him!
That's not a railroad problem.
And they must be a win-win situation. Both parties need to gain something from the other fella.
What would happen if I ever dropped you?
I'd go right down the drain.
And
take you right down with me, shorty.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe and share it. And what's the worst relationship advice you've ever seen in a movie? What's the best? Leave a comment. I will see you next time, and this is Movie Wise.